Hey guys, welcome back. I know it's been a long time, but that's why we're about to get into some tea for business. So I'm gonna tell you guys why I've been missing, or gonna attempt, because I'm slowly starting to understand things. So I don't have all the answers. Some of this shit probably don't even make sense to y'all, right? This is just where I'm at today. Okay. Basically, I'm just going to break down a few moments that shaped my life. You know what I mean? Just to give y'all just a clearer understanding, like why I like to be alone and to myself, why I feel safe. You know what I mean? Um, yeah. So I'm just gonna jump right in. Again, this story probably don't make all the sense because I will be a little nervous. I try to do as much as possible without crying. But again, I'm just trying to touch on a few things because I've been really trying to pump some videos out to you guys, and I have so much of footage, but every time I go to put it up, I literally can't because I have to do this video. So yeah. So let me know what you think down below, and yeah, just let me know if you guys can relate to anything that I'm saying. Okay, guys, so for the last year, I've been dealing with anxiety, and just like, well, probably with most people, you know what I mean? Like with most people, but it's like this last year is like, it has really forced me to think. And last year it was just crazy because it was like I was just putting things into perspective. And so when I was putting things into perspective, I was just like, wow, everything in life really do go hand in hand, because it's like, even with my anxiety, I was just like, yo, why am I getting anxiety? Like, yo, what the fuck is up? Like, you know? And sure enough, so I just went back. I'm like, yo, like, when was the first time you ever had this feeling? Think about it, when you first have anxiety, you don't realize it's anxiety because it's. So I'm like, nah, when? And I just always call my anxiety a nervous feeling, just always. So my first nervous feeling was truly when I was 11, my father passed, right? I had a nervous feeling, but it wasn't, it wasn't nothing crazy like, oh, my father passed, I'm from the projects, as I stated, I'm pretty sure before. I grew up with 10 other kids, so we used to go to the rec. That's it, that was located in the project. So went to the rec after school every day. So someone they came to get me, and they was like, your father passed. I was like, okay, just this real shit, for real. It was like, okay. After that, now mind you, I knew my father. Like, my father, he would come, he would pick us up, but I'm not gonna make it seem like, oh, it's a every week thing, and all that shit, to make it sound good for YouTube. No, it wasn't like that. I was living with my grandmother with 10 other kids, like, just that simple. All right. So, boom. Now, after that, so, I'm just like, okay, we went to the funeral, boom, no problem. 2 years later, my mother died. Now, when my mother died, now, that was something different for me. But still, I'm in school, they like Tifa. My grandmother came, and I was scared as soon as I seen my grandmother, because I'm like, damn, like my grandmother, she ain't coming to the school. So I'm like, well, what happened? But I ain't remember my family from New York. They came, like it was, they loved they loved my mother. They showed up real deep. Like, I love my New York family, like for real, yo. One of my best moments is like, yo, like when my mother was dying, and it's like, yo, like they came. And I'm a lot like my mother. It's like I could see she was trying to be in good spirit, but it's like you could tell, embarrassed, you lost. It's like, yo, you like 90 pounds, You was once a fucking hot girl. But anyway, to a house, everything was all good or whatever. But like I told you, this is where the anxiety started, because it's like now I'm like, wow, my mother and my father is gone. So now I have my grandmother, and I'm like, wait, she 55. I'm like, whoa, to a 13-year-old, that's old as hell. And I'm just like, no, like, oh my goodness, like, and my grandmother, like, yo, when I tell y'all, a God-fearing woman, a real woman of God. Like none of that. Like the way I am, the way my siblings, cousins, everybody, like, no, we can't hold a candle to her. Can't hold a candle to her. It's like, I'm on some, that shit is giving me anxiety without me even realizing it, because it's like, yo, to the point where they looked at me like I was a punk. But I'm like, I ain't no punk. I'm smart, because I'm like, shit, some shit happened to her. Where the hell we all gonna live at? Like, what the, like, like, so to the point where I'm just like, oh God, like, please, please, Father God, don't let nothing happen to her. Please do not, never, please. People, I done seen it. People was already different. I had already been in foster care. Like this not a video for my whole life story, but I'm trying to tell you guys the parts that really affected me that I can identify with now. As for everything's all good or whatever, just regular, just being raised regular, this and that, and now I'm in high school, nothing crazy didn't happen in high school until my senior year. Now, this where it shaped the, oh God, like, how can I say it? I'm trying to say it right. This where it has shaped me. This incident ended up shaping me for life. And I didn't realize that would happen with something that some people consider to be minute, but so in high school, I played basketball. I'm not going to say no names because I'm just not going to say no names. But you can Google it. It made the paper. Just all types of fuck shit, like, I'm about to take the test. Can I please go home? She was like, no. I said, a teacher just broke my vagina. Can I please go home? And she was like, oh my God, Latifah, come here. Let me talk to you. And now, I'm mad because I'm like, you just made me say this shit in front of everybody, And it was really, really important to me that I really did have to go to class. I know y'all like, girl, I would have went the fuck home, yada, yada, yada. It's like, no, I'm in shock. I'm like, did he really do that, And again, it was more of that I was mad. So now they got me talking with the head of the department. They're asking me, is it my basketball coach? And I'm telling them, I'm like, no. I said, Mr. Black, he ain't never touched me. He ain't never touched me at all, And I told him, I said, no, that's why I won't want to say who it is, because y'all saying who it is, and I didn't even tell y'all who it was. Latifah, we promise we're not going to tell nobody. Da-da-da-da. Nope, they called my grandmother. I heard my grandmother yell through the phone. And I think that's when I realized, like, that, like, yo, that was some real fucked up shit, because it's like, I never, I heard my grandmother say I'd get a shotgun and blow his head off, and I'm like, what? Because it's like, yo, that's like cursing for her. Like, yo, like, the boy was like, did y'all hear about the student who said the teacher touched her because he's no longer fucking with her no more? I was like, she said, Latifah, I'm so sorry. I said, no, it's okay. And I told her his name. I went home. I told my grandmother. We went right down to the police station. We pressed charges. They told me, we believe you. They went to get his ass, That's why, so that incident right there, that's why I always have distance between myself and people. I don't trust people. I trust people. Y'all get what I'm saying. I don't easily trust people, I should say. That right there is like, yo, still to this day, it's like, yo, that shit made me I never wanted attention. I never, y'all seen me lose over 150 pounds. Y'all never seen an ass shot of me. You understand? Y'all never. I got 50,000 pictures in my camera roll. 50,000. But yeah, I got 2,000 something on Instagram. I don't like attention at all. I don't. When YouTube is like, oh my goodness, like you gotta be in front of the camera. By the time that experience happened to me, I had already started coping with real serious situations by pretending that they didn't happen, if that makes sense. you know. So it really didn't happen if it didn't make me cry, you know what I mean? So that's where I went with that. And then, but the dangerous part of that was with, once all of that happened with him, and you know, they said, oh, they act, oh, people get mad, he gonna blow our whole house up, he in my house, he gonna kill me, you know. So now I'm jittery. It started off with me just feeling jittery, and then after that, it's like I would throw up, and then after that, it would. So and then it started. Boom! I would eat something to make me throw up. So now I'm fully bulimic. It wasn't shit wrong with me before. Mother, father passed. I did not. You understand? And again, it all probably just came to a head, but no, I was not doing that. You know what I mean? And it's like, yo, because it was like, and then when that wasn't enough, it was like I was doing other things that I'm still to this day, I'm embarrassed. You understand? And that's this some real shit. I'm embarrassed to even say it, so I won't. Like, my mother, father dying, I never even cried. You understand? Who you know, they tell you, you fucking 13, your mother died. It's no tears, but yeah, here I sit, well into my 30s. But the tears are here today because everything in life goes hand in hand. You know, I was told that I cried a lot when I was younger. So when real shit happened to me, I said, no, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry, I'm strong. You know, when I was 22, my grandmother passed, and it's like, I said, nope, I'm not gonna cry, I'm not gonna cry. That hurt me in the long run because it made me hold my true feelings in. And so naturally, I could be happy now, and if I'm not smiling, it's like, even on social media, it's like, why don't you smile? Why don't you smile? And it's like, in my head, it's like, what if I don't have anything to smile about? What if I just don't feel like smiling? It's like I'm a very spiritual person, so you can't hit me with the, oh, you blessed to be alive. Hell, I know that. I know that, please. I've not told, I've had a really, 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 really good life. There's always someone that has it worse off than you. Always. So, sorry, I'm looking at the camera. Okay, so basically, I just gave you guys a little more insight to Tifa. Um, yeah, so, you know, well, basically, the moral of the moral of this story is, deal with your shit, yo, head on. I'm not saying, oh, when my mother and my father died, I'm 13. You understand that I was supposed to know and have all the tools. No. But there were years where I could have worked on it more. However, I didn't have enough of this story. So I don't think that's one of the reasons why God didn't allow it to play out, you know, a different way. Because I literally found out how my mother died. I was almost 30. You understand? Even with my father, you know what I mean? It's like, it's layers to this shit. You understand? It's the layers. But nevertheless, you know, nevertheless, I'm grateful. I'm gonna forever be faithful. And I really do thank God for a praying grandmother because, woo, I wouldn't have been able to get through this. Like, for real, for real. And now I'm just ready. I'm ready to bust my ass. I'm ready to work, you know. I'm ready to work. I'm just trying to give you guys a better understanding of me. I know this video is all over the place. I'm not used to doing this. So it's like, if it make it up, that's just in a win in itself because it's a lot. And just, another thing, guys, just let me know what you want to. So, guys, thanks for listening. I hope you guys can get a better understanding of me, of why I have distance and why I have anxiety. Um, yeah. Till next time.